You're listening to episode 2 of the Arm Length Interviews podcast. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Andy.
And the show starts now.
So we are back from PAX 2013. Feeling fresh. Eddie's not so fresh.
Nope, I come down with a slight case of the PAX Pox, but I'm getting better. Might hear me cough a little bit. Hopefully you won't mind.
And that's, I think, has more to do with the... There it is. Number 1. We're going to have a ticker going.
That would be great.
I think it has more to do with the air quality of Boston and drinking, lowering our immune systems, just in general.
Yes. And very little sleep. And we were running on alcohol and beef jerky and potato chips and very little sleep for 4 days.
4 days, yeah. Every single night, we would drink and we'd get up the next day and be like, and say, tonight is the night. We're going to, pare it back a little bit. We're going to do less, partying and all like that. And every single night, we got more drunk. And we were up later and later and later. I think the last night we were up till what, 4 o'clock?
Yes. And I was up at 7:30.
Yeah, I was not.
Oh, you were up. You just refused to acknowledge the fact that you were awake.
No, there was no living in Andy's world at that point.
So the last podcast we had, it was our first podcast. We did a pre-PAX podcast, and we kind of meshed all of our experiences into one long podcast.
Right.
From now on, we're going to keep that a little bit shorter.
Yeah, definitely, putting in bite-sized chunks for you guys. And it's not always going to be just about PAX. I mean, this is just the big thing that was happening for us right now. And, we're going to, we'll talk about games, retro games, new games. We'll talk about what's happening in the industry. But what we'd like to talk about today is, first of all, if you guys had tuned in last time, we talked about the Pokecrawl last year.
Boogeyman was the pokey and the man in the thing where the guy comes out of the thing and he makes the fall off the side.
That's right.
And this year we did it again, and we had a really good time. It was really cool. We met up with some old friends, and their names were, Val,
yep,
and Andrew.
Andrew Batman.
Yeah.
And Batman from last time.
Jamie and Chris and Ted. Ted, if you're listening to this, it's funny, when you turned around, I completely recognized your face. He recognized me from last year because we did this paper, rock, scissors thing with the 5 shots. If you guys had tuned in last time, I talked about that. And I lost every single round. But he not only remembered it, he also remembered, I think, paying for it too. He felt really bad.
You are the worst paper, rock, scissors player ever.
I am. And I did it again this year, and I lost again. It was not good. It was this time was whiskey, tequila, and bourbon.
Yes.
And we split it up like 1 and 1, and then paper, rock, scissors for the last shot. And of course, I lost again. And that happened.
Yes,
I'm good at it.
And I got to drink while you were drinking with him doing paper, rock, scissors. I drank with his wife or his girlfriend that was with him.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate enough that I did not have to pay paper, rock, scissors. She was like, I will drink the vodka, and you can have the tequila and bourbon. I was like, all right.
And that works out. That always works out. This year we did, I think the first challenge for the Pokecrawl this year was do a double shot of something you never drink. And neither Ed nor I ever drink bourbon.
What's this, sir?
Drink it.
And it was an expensive first endeavor.
Oh, I have drank it once, but then that was it. I detest bourbon.
Yeah, it's not my drink of choice. I think the bill was $32.
$32.
It was $39, $40 with a tip.
And Andy, being the one who, being sarcastic here, goes out to the bars all the time, thinking, okay, well, I just had a wait person give me, a service. I need to tip them 20%.
Right. Yeah.
And then he comes back. He's like, oh yeah, it was $32, and then with a $6 tip. I'm like, what? No. Bartenders usually give them $1 per drink, $2 if they're awesome.
And bartenders out there, you know who is your friend when you're out in the
well,
scene.
I guarantee you, Andy will not be doing that again when his jaw dropped to the floor.
I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money.
Especially when they're overpriced drinks.
Well, I think one of honestly, one of the best parts, besides seeing old friends at the Pokecrawl this year, one of the best parts was I think it was after the fourth bar. It was Clark's or Wild Rover.
It was very fuzzy. I did not remember which bar.
But there was this magical red door.
Love.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was awesome. It was like 2 doors down, and we knock on the door, and there's this little Chinese man, and he's got this big bucket, and he's got teriyaki beef sticks.
Teriyaki beef sticks.
And chicken.
Oh, was it chicken?
It was chicken.
No, it was pork.
It was pork.
It was pork.
I don't know what it was, but it was It was so good.
It could have been dog. I would tell you the truth. I probably didn't care.
Basically, he's selling shish kebabs for $1 a piece.
Yes, and you did not find that in Boston.
No, it didn't happen. And we wound up getting 9 each.
Yes.
I just kept on going back, and then going back to our group of green gold and saying
it's not a big deal for me.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy. I can eat lots of food. Andy eats like a bird.
I do.
And just to see him snarf down this mystery meat on a stick was pretty amazing.
It was so good.
I was proud. We connected on a level we've never connected on.
It's
before.
true. What we had 3 or 4, 3 bags.
3, yes.
Yeah.
3 bags.
And every single time
of mystery stick meat.
The line got longer and longer because we kept telling people. Just how we are.
Yes.
Yeah, like, oh my God, you gotta try these out.
And they're like, what? There's just a door. And we're like, knock on it. No, I don't know if somebody lives here. We're like, no, do it.
It was so weird. It was like that weird, like, I don't know if you've seen the movies, like the whole, knocking on a secret door and saying a password kind of thing. It wasn't a little Chinese guy. It was this big bouncer guy who answered the door. He's like, and
what do you want?
And we want the teriyaki sticks, and he comes and he goes, okay, 1 second. He closes the door and he comes back with the little Asian guy. He
summons the little Asian man with a bucket of magic.
It was so cool.
It was great. I think that particularly got us going the rest of the night. I don't know how it would have went if we wouldn't have had that.
I totally agree, because we could have been, especially with this year was a lot more hard liquor than I think I had 1 beer the entire Pokecrawl through 5 bars, and if it weren't for those magic meat sticks,
now, we could have been with that lady that was in the bathroom that our poker professor was helping out with.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, she disappeared, and we're sitting at the table. And our poker professor disappears. And the professor, for those of you who don't know, each team has a professor. And they're the one that kind of leads everybody around, gives everybody the rules, make sure everybody's okay. They're like the babysitter. Yeah. And our babysitter disappeared and left us with another mystery.
Yeah, this was really... she said, I don't know, it's strange. You meet someone for a couple of hours during a bar crawl last year. And then later on in the party, you meet up with them again and her boyfriend at the time. And we were hanging out.
Your best friends.
Right. And so a year later, this is someone you don't know. You say, can you watch my stuff for me? And you leave for half an hour.
Because this lady needed help. She was in the bathroom having a really hard time. And she needed to go help her out being the good person that she is.
Right. So at one point, someone comes up to me and says, are you the assistant? I'm like, I guess I'm her assistant. She goes, I need the tickets. So I'm looking in these envelopes. This one envelope is stuffed with cash.
And the cash is for Child's Play, I believe.
Right, Child's Play charity, yeah.
Yes, it was a charity bag full of cash.
So that's the kind of thing, you meet someone and they're that trusting of you right off the bat. How cool is that?
Yes.
No one, that doesn't happen ever in
real
real life.
But it was a little shocking that now that we had to make sure that this bag did not disappear, and we were kind of inebriated. Andy had a death grip on that bag.
I did.
And it did not go anywhere. And I was sitting there holding her purse.
Silent feline beast.
I think at one point, actually,
am I at the mall?
It was really funny. Is later on, I think it was when we were at. And we'll talk about this in another podcast probably. But we were playing this Cards Against Humanity. But while we were waiting in this queue to get the game, this same girl went to hand me her purse, and I went, no. I remember I was a big fan of No Ma'am with Al Bundy, and you don't grab a woman's purse. And guys out there are like PC, like, no, times have changed. No. No, I will not hold it. My wife will not, no. She won't hand me her purse. I'll be like, no, I'm not doing that.
I'd hold your wife's purse.
It's
a nice purse.
It is a nice purse. I bought that purse for her.
It's nice. You're a good purse shopper.
I am.
Where'd you buy that purse at?
Which one?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My wife has one purse, and it's this magical bag of teleportation where she's like, hey, can you give me the gum out of my purse? I'm like, no, because you might not ever see me again.
Right.
Or I will just be digging around for 45 minutes and finding a cat and, gum and my phone that I lost years ago.
If you guys agree with this, really, and you're listening,
I don't understand. I have a wallet.
Put in the comments below. Honestly, I'm the same way. I like your wife hands you her purse or your girlfriend or whatever, and they say, "Hey, can you dig this out for me?" Women can go in and they're like,
"Oh, absolutely!"
By just by feel, like they have like that blind person sixth sense. They can feel anything in their person
forever.
Yeah, I'll pull everything will be out of the person before I find the object.
On the floor, things are laid out everywhere.
I just want to see if other people feel the same way. Me and Eddie are the same, so maybe we're old school like that. I don't know.
I don't know what they expect to carry around.
I wonder what they did in the 80s when guys were wearing hip packs.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good...
I don't remember that.
Those day-glow hip packs.
Oh, I just think that was too sexy that just had to go away.
Oh, it was a year fad.
I'm sorry I missed that. Oh, I was a young pup in the 80s.
Oh, we all were. Yeah, we were... Yeah.
Yeah? That's right. All right, so we got our bag of cash. Professor comes back, and we decided to go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Well, we sat there and had a couple drinks first and talked to her.
Yeah, we did.
And made sure we got our pens, got our sign. Oh, while we were the assistant professors for a little bit, I wrote some amazing things on those people's cards.
Did you?
Yes.
I didn't even see that.
No. I can't go into it here. This is a PG-rated show. But it was quite hilarious. I'm like, will you sign my card? Oh, yes, I will.
Oh, yes.
And I'm not a very good artist. Legendary ones.
Right.
And for this year, in order for me to get the very legendary pen, I had to have my last year's.
Right.
So
it's kind of like builds on it. Like, hey, you have last year's pen. If you don't, well, screw you.
Yeah,
you don't get to participate.
Well, I have 2 pens that say drunk-o-rama, and I'm very proud of them.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. Actually, I thought that was really, really cool.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of volunteers that a lot of people put a lot of money into this with the making of the pens, the making of the cards, and these aren't just crappy little things that they made in their basement. They put some money and thought into these things, and it all goes to Child's Play.
Actually, this year they had like book bags.
That's right. Yeah,
the yellow, and they also had shot glasses. 2013 Pokey Crawl.
And these are a lot of pocket from good people who are just using them for this Pokey Crawl. And yes, a lot of us get drunk, but ultimately there's a lot of money that goes to the Child's Play charity. And essentially that was our Thursday.
It was. And that was pretty much it. That's pretty much all the time we have for today. But next time we'll be talking about our Friday at PAX and
Last of Us,
right? Which is all we saw on the show floor. It's actually I don't want to give anything away, so we'll talk about it next time. But thanks a lot, guys, and I hope to see you next time on Arm Length Interviews. I'm Andy,
and I'm Eddie.